Radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Good evening. How you doing? Fade to Black. That's right. Today is Monday, December 4th, 2023. Oh, man, my voice. I am back. That's right. Everybody knows I just went to Peru and Bolivia. And I was there for over 2 weeks. I don't know exactly the day count, but somewhere in there. And I went down with the invitation from Brien Foerster and Hidden Inca Tours. I want to thank Brien for just being an amazing host the entire time I was there. And his wife, Renee, is amazing too as well. Very knowledgeable and very spiritual. And his, I guess, third in command, I'm going to say, Gustavo Morales, absolutely amazing and so knowledgeable. He lives in La Paz, Bolivia. And his knowledge of the area is just incredible. And then there was Wilco, and Wilco is an indigenous elder with the knowledge beyond belief. And his contributions to the tour were just absolutely extraordinary. And so I want to thank all of them. We had between 30 and 35 people, some on the tour from around the world in the United States. And some came in late because we had a pre-tour that was Nazca and Paracas. That was like 3 or 4 days. And then we had the main tour itself. And during that trip, a couple of couples left to continue a tour somewhere else in South America. So, but we had about 30, 35 people with us on the entire trip. An amazing group. I do a lot of tours, as everybody knows. And this one was not only perfect, but just extra special. Peru and Bolivia are very amazing places. Now, tonight I was just posting there in the chat. I've got over 3,000 images and videos. The number's 3,800 combined. I knew that I was trigger happy and shooting everything that I could because I wanted to put everything together into a documentary. And it turns out I've got enough footage for like 3 documentaries, and I don't know how I'm going to get through everything and put it all together, but I will. It was just an amazing trip. And so tonight we're going to do that, a combination of video and images. I don't have anything in it. When you have thousands of images, it's very difficult to just go through and look at everything because it's all cool. Everything is cool. I can't show everything, but I've got some great stuff. So we're going to go through all of that tonight. Now, let me start off with this, a general statement. Number one, Brian's website is hiddenincatours.com. The link for it is below. We will be doing another tour in 2024 in November. It's not on Brian's website yet. I'm making the announcement now. We've got the dates set. I think it's going to be November 18th, right after Stairway to the Stars in Las Vegas. Going to do the same thing. Brien will be at Stairway to the Stars too, by the way. And after Stairway, he's going to jump on a plane. He's going to head back to Peru. He lives in Paracas. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come back, change my suitcase out, jump on a plane, and head back down to Peru and Bolivia with Brien. So I'll keep everybody posted on that as soon as everything is up and ready to go. We're getting artwork prepped and doing some other things. But as soon as that's up, I will let everybody know, because after tonight and everything that I have to say over the next year, you're going to want to come and join us in Peru. It's absolutely amazing. And the food. Oh man. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there. Food was amazing. And now I want to make this other general statement. I've been traveling a lot, and everybody knows around the world, they speak about Egypt, and there's reasons for that, because everywhere you go in Egypt, it doesn't matter. You just turn your head and you look and you see something amazing. And Peru is exactly the same. Everywhere you go, everywhere you look, in cities, out in the mountains, wherever you go, there is something amazing, and it's everywhere. But here is what is trippy about that statement: is it's not like that in Brazil and Paraguay, Uruguay, Ecuador, Argentina, Chile, Venezuela, Colombia. It's not. It's very strange how these giant, beautiful, megalithic, ancient sites are just concentrated in Peru, which makes it a very special spiritual place. We spent most of our time at extremely high altitudes. I would say that most of the trip, except for Paracas, which is at sea level, which is where we're going to start tonight, by the way. After Paracas, right up, 12,000 feet and above. We hit 15,000 feet. And let me tell you something. That's high. That is getting up there. And people were asking me and texting me, and I got a lot of email about the altitude and was it affecting me. It didn't really affect me. I felt strange. I felt once in a while a shortness of breath, but no. And we were hiking. Wait till you see these images and these videos. Way up high, and which includes, of course, when we cross the border from Peru into Bolivia to go to Tiwanaku and Pumapunku. Okay, so with that, I've got a lot to show. I know everybody's excited, and I haven't even checked the chat yet. Okay, right, there's the chat. If you do have any questions, pop it up in the chat. That cheesecake looked amazing. Oh man, you caught that. Now, I did a lot of posting on social media, on Instagram and Facebook. I will try to avoid, it's going to be impossible, but of repeating images. If you haven't been to my Facebook or to my Instagram, head over there. There's a great collection of stuff, including, which I don't have here tonight, I did a live stream from Pumapunku. And I hats off to Bolivia and Peru, by the way. Excellent cell coverage. We're at 13,000 feet in the middle of nowhere, and I'm rocking with 4 bars. And when we got to the gates of Pumapunku, to my phone, I was like, I'm live streaming. Screw this. Pop, 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 pop. And that's how that live stream happened. It was just right there, just impromptu. and went live. And as far as I know, and I've watched everything on Pumapunku that is available, I don't think anybody's live streamed from Pumapunku. So that live stream is over on my Facebook page, and if you haven't checked it out, go and see that. It's pretty fun to watch. Okay, so I'm going to start. Let me get some stuff prepped. On our first day, let me pause this real quick. Okay, and let me get this going. On our first day there, Brien lives in Paracas, and so he took us through Paracas first. And the first thing that we did was actually one of the most incredible things I've ever done in my life. And he took us to the Red Cliffs of Paracas. Never heard of the Red Cliffs of Paracas, including the cathedral. And I posted a picture of the cathedral. So I am going to play this. Now, I didn't know what I was about to see. So I'm walking. Let me turn this volume down a little bit here because it's very windy. So I'm walking up. Here we go. I'm walking up this path. We have just left the bus, and you can see the Pacific Ocean off in the distance. Again, I don't know what's about to happen here, but I separate from the group. I'm first, as you can see, and I'm walking up to what appears to be some type of observation deck. And again, this is Paracas. And now, as I approach this, now I'm holding the camera and walking at the same time, but I'm also looking around and I'm observing what is about to pop up in front of me. And you're going to see it here just as I saw it. And now we've all been to the Grand Canyon. We've seen incredible sights, the White Cliffs of Dover in the United Kingdom, and these dramatic vistas. But I was not prepared for what I was about to see here. Now, the group is off heading in another direction. I'm all by myself, as you can see here. And I approach this, and I'm looking around, and wow. So here it is. Check out this view. And this is the first day, the first thing I see in Peru. And then I scan around. Look at this. And those waves are ginormous below me. And I scan around, and I'm in awe. And this is my introduction to Peru. Oh, by the way, this is absolutely in the middle of nowhere. So there's no trees. There's nothing. And I took some other pictures too as well, and maybe I'll get to those. It looks like Mars. And in a weird way, I thought to myself, this is where the pictures of Mars are coming from. Yeah, woo. And so there you go. That is Paracas, and that is the Cliffs of Paracas. And so the next day, I have some images of Paracas. Maybe I'll get back to that. But I know you want to get to the good stuff too as well. But how dramatic is that? And this, I've been in Peru now for, I was in Lima for a day, and then the next day we went down to Paracas and spent the night. In the morning, woke up and did that. And that was my introduction. So the next thing that we did, we went to the Paracas Museum. We saw the elongated skulls. I'll circle back to that. Right now I'm showing video. But the next day, Nazca. That's right. We went to Nazca and flew over the lines. And so let me prep this because I've got a lot of Nazca stuff that I'm going to show you now. But first thing, this is our plane. All right, so there it is, and this is the airport right in the middle of Nazca. So when we've all seen Chariots of the Gods and those famous shots of the Nazca Lines. Well, that's exactly where this airport is. And as soon as you take off, it's immediate, and the Nazca Lines are right there and below us. So this is our group. We took a couple of planes, and this particular one, I think, sat 12. I sat on the left side, not on the side, on the left side, in the middle, right below the wing, as you will see. And here we are entering the plane. All right, so now that's not what's important. What's important is, what did I see? So I'm going to pull up a bunch of videos, not in any particular order here, but pretty incredible stuff. And everything that you can imagine that you have seen, the monkey, the hummingbird, and the runways and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's here. And so this is the first video. And the pilot has instructed us, look at the runways, by the way. The pilot has instructed us, as soon as he tips his wing down, to look at the tip of the wing. So we're coming around here, and this first, I haven't been blown away like I was in this video, because he tips the wing and he says, look, look, look. All right. I'm going to freeze frame this because this is absolutely mind blowing. Look at the lines, and they're everywhere. That's the whale. And you can see it right here. Now, just it's such a crazy thing to see. Nazca is miles and miles, 50 miles square. It's a desert, just full of images, full of stuff. So let's pull up another video. Oh, man. It's right there. Now, hold on. I'm going to pause it for you. There it is. That is the astronaut. There he is right there on the side of the mountain, and he's waving. That's his arm, and this arm is down. That is that's what they call the astronaut, and he's waving. Let me continue the video. Just like that. As soon as we take off, the whale, then the astronaut. And let's see here. Let me pop up another video. Now, and if you look at this and you see the lines crisscrossing right here, right here, right here, right here is the monkey. Okay. Now, in a second, let's go to the next video, and you will see the monkey. It's right there. Absolutely incredible. And I'm just going to bust these out one after another because oops, my bad. Okay, here we go. Check this out. It doesn't get any better than this. That's the hummingbird. And you can see it. It's right here. Now watch. Now I'm going to stop this right here. This is what is incredible about Nazca. That is a mountaintop, flattened, and the hummingbird, which is here, right? This line continues, all of these lines, perfectly straight for a couple of miles. And when you are flying in the plane, now look at it again. There's the hummingbird. You can see the hummingbird right here. Now look at the size of these lines, and you can see how the mountaintop, you can see it here. You can see the edge, right, of everything. Completely flat. Completely flat. These lines are completely straight. And we're high up in an airplane, and you can see the straightness and the size, the scope is unbelievable. And you just have to ask yourself as you see something like, now, look in the background. Look at this. Look at that. And it's giant. It's miles intersected with these straight lines. And Nazca is covered with this in every direction. Every direction that you look, all you see is something else amazing. And I remember when we got back and landed, and I was discussing all of this with everybody else. It's just like, what was most amazing, and look at this image. Look at this image. You have to understand the size of what we are looking at here. Look at the road. You can see the road with the trucks on it, right? That's how big it's just miles. Oh, why won't this video play? It's stopping at 1 second. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. This right here is one of the best examples of Nazca that I can try to demonstrate the size and the magnificence of what this is. Look at this image. Look at everything that is going on there. There is something here, 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 here. It's insane. I mean, this is day 2. This is day 2 in Peru. And again, I have so many images here. Now, also with in between all of these shots of video, I was also shooting high-res images too as well. Look at, now he's pointing the wing down, right? And that's called the runway. And I've got a few shots of this. Look at that. It's called the flower. See it? It's right there. Now, right here, that's the highway. These are 2 observation decks that were built because of the images that are right here, and there's another one right here. And these observation decks, this first one was built in the 1950s, so you could see the images that are, and the highway goes right in the middle. Look. This runway, this big square, and look how it attaches down to this one and goes over to here. This one attaches down here and goes down to here. And you're driving right past this stuff and you're just looking like, oh my God. And it's just incredible to see. Incredible. And again, I have literally of Nazca. I have no idea how many videos I've got here. Hold on. You're listening. I'm just scrolling through. Okay. So next up, that's Nazca. I could literally spend the. Let me back up and go to. These are images of Nazca. I can bust through these, I think, one at a time. And these are high-res images here. Let me see. I think I might be able to switch through these. Let's see. Yeah. That's the end of the runway. And I took so many. There's the Tree of Life, which again, I still can't make any sense of a lot of this. How they would have knowledge of things like the Tree of Life, and there is again, this is what they call the runway. This is on the top of a mountain. And you can see that's the spider right there. That's the tarantula. Look. Look at that. And it looks like I retouched this. This is straight off my camera. That's straight off my camera. So let's back this back up. That's what you're looking at. Look at the size of this runway and everything else that's here. And then there's this. Absolutely incredible. And you can see how it looks like you would walk, right, and go through a path. You see that? It's pretty interesting to see. And I don't know what I'm taking a picture of here. Oh, right there. And again, I'm trying to, oh yeah, look. Okay, so two birds. Okay, this is the second one, but I want you to look here. There it is. Okay. But let's back up. See the wings, the beak, all right? Look at this. You ready? Do you have any idea how big this is? And then, so as you're flying over Nazca and you see this, right? And then you see how, and you're flying, it takes minutes to go over this. Just absolutely incredible. And here's the other part. Now, I tried to grab the whole thing again in this image. How do you do this without being able to be up in the air to see what you're doing? That's the part. And when you look at what's going on here and the other lines and the shapes that are happening, how would you do this without, look at that. That's a river. Okay, that's how high in the air. Look, how would you do this? I don't understand. And like I said, this is just day 2. Here is the, okay, so look, these are the observation decks. This one was the original. This one's new. But this was built to look at this and this and this. And everything else was, that's a lizard. Everything else was discovered much later and preserved, by the way. I took this shot for scale just to show you. It's a semi-truck. And then look what's going on in the back. Look at that line. It goes over the mountains like Ozzy Osbourne. And here's another shot just to show you. Look at this. Nazca was incredible. Just absolutely mind-blowing. I took this shot for a couple of reasons. One, you can see the plateau in the background, and you can see the lines on the top of it, right? And right here, as we circle around, you'll see what's there. I might have an image of that, but right next to it is a town. And if you look in these backyards, I was so impressed with what is going on in these villages, in somebody's backyard, literally on a hilltop right there. Okay, now this is the runway. And it's called the runway for a lot of different reasons. But Again, it's on a hilltop, but the access roads that are thousands of years old, that come up, they say this was done in around 500 AD. I think it's much older, but it's the access to this all the way up and down on both sides, and it just sits there by itself. Again, look, there's a farm right here, and in this farmer's backyard is that. Just incredible. That's an ancient road that goes to a cliffside, by the way. Incredible. Okay. I couldn't take enough pictures. Look at that. On a mountaintop. I couldn't take enough. And now I think you understand why I have 3,000 images. I shot and I shot and I shot. Here's another runway on the top of a mountain, but look at that. And it looks like I've retouched it, no, this is exactly how it just came off of my camera, just like this. Look, here's the shadow of the airplane right here. Okay, I'm going to get out of, I could show you. Okay, hold on for one quick second. This is one of the most incredible things that I saw at Nazca. This is called the family. You ready for this? And boom, 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 boom. And then boom, 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 boom. Now I'm going to zoom in so you can see. One, there's a bird. I think that's Dad with a fancy hairdo. I don't know what this little dude is. And it's huge, by the way. It's ginormously big. And then we have this. Make sense of that. Check out this dude. Now, that's on the side of that mountain. I mean, I was so blown away at the size. It's just huge, huge, huge. So that's the family. Oh, there's me. Okay, that's me in the pilot seat. Okay, let's go past this. And we went to a couple of museums, and let me see here. Let me get past this. Okay, so went to the Paracas Museum right after this to go look at some elongated skulls. And here we go. Check this guy out. There's a whole collection of them here. There's a whole row. No suture marks, by the way. Don't know what, and Brien, the reason why these images are so important, you could not take pictures of these skulls anywhere in the museum. This is the first time, even for Brien, that he was able to photograph these skulls. And but look, no suture marks. That is whole and intact. There's another one. Look at that. Incredible. Now, just for reference, that's a natural size, normal size in the face. The skull itself is like that big. It's huge. 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 This guy looked like he had a little brain surgery, or maybe that's how he was killed. That's a male skull. This is an X-ray and of a mummy. This is in the museum. Again, you weren't allowed to photograph these before. Now you can. So I photographed everything, and you can see where the spine enters the base of the skull, and I found that very interesting. There's a mummy. It kind of reminds you of Maria. This was in the back of the museum. They had a full layout of now. Okay, so Nazca was preserved by this woman, Maria Reche, and she was an incredible woman. She spent 50 years on the Nazca plains there, preserving the desert and preserving the images, and she would chase people away with a broom. They called her the Witch of Nazca. Get out of here, get out of here. And they were going to develop it. They were going to build towns and houses over the Nazca Lines. She got UNESCO to come in and other World Heritage groups to come in and protect the Nazca plain. Otherwise, it would not be there today. She's the reason for all of that. And there's a painting of, this is a mural on the side of a building, and I took a picture of that. Okay, so let me pull this down. Let me see what I've got coming up next. This is not that interesting. That is lunch somewhere in Peru. Again, so then we went to Ballestas Island, and I saw one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going to show it to you now. This is called the candelabra. And I posted a picture of this. Now, we're going by it on a boat. This is about, it's over 500 feet tall, and it's carved into the side of the mountain. It's guesstimated. Nobody really knows the age, by the way. So it's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years old. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who put it there. There's lots of theories. You can go and check it out. It is huge. Now, this is us passing it on the boat. I'm zooming in, by the way. If I show you that's how big it is. Okay, so I zoomed in with my camera and started taking these shots. Now, what's interesting about this is it's like a trident, Poseidon, right? So it's three. They call it the candelabra. It's also 1, 2, 3. I don't know what the significance of that is. There's lots of different ideas that are out there. It may point to certain stars. It may be some type of navigation point. And then none of that matters. What matters is somebody dug it into the side of the mountain over 1,000 years ago. It's always been there. It's been there. It's just always been there. I think it's to be seen from above. Right now, it could be a navigational point. It's on a peninsula on the way to Ballestas Island, which is a sanctuary. I've got some pictures of it coming up. But it doesn't really make any sense. And it's at the Bay of Paracas. It looks to me like it's to be seen from above because it's on as you can see, it's on a slope it's not quite flat, but it's not pointing up where you would see it. It's angled and it's huge. It was mind blowing. And when we're driving past it on the boat, this is just zoomed in. I don't know what these artifacts are. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it's stone. Okay, now this is covered in sand now, but it was carved in stone. So it's thousands of years old, and it's just kind of filled in, but you can see the stone there. And it was unbelievable to see. And I don't know. And nobody knows, by the way. Nobody knows. Everybody's got theories about this. Me seeing it the way that I saw it firsthand, there it is again. It looks like it's meant to be seen from above. No, that's extreme. I do. I know that's extreme, but there it is, the candelabra. Okay, let's see what we got coming up next. And you should look this up, by the way, because it's incredible. So we went to this island, and the island itself is protected. And the first thing that we see when we pull up, are you ready? I'm going to just pop this image up for you. Penguins. Penguins. You ready? Look at this. Those are penguins. Right there. Looking at us too, just standing there. And it might have been my imagination, but I think they actually waved a couple of times. But penguins just standing there. And then up here, now there's a lot of penguins. Look. Hundreds of penguins all the way up. Penguins on this island. How crazy is that? Those penguins? We're in South America. How did they get here from Antarctica? I don't know, but there was a lot of them. So penguins on this island. I've never seen penguins in a natural habitat. Oh, here's another group. Look at these dudes. Look at these dudes. How crazy is that? Penguins. And that right there for me was worth the trip. We rounded the corner and there was more penguins. Look at this. They were everywhere. Okay, enough of that. But yeah, penguins, man. I was blown away. So then we ended up going into this cave system here. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but here's one of the caves, and we cruised in with our boat, and the you can see here, this is just straight off of my phone. Look at the colors. This is just absolutely stunning to go to this kind of nature that far in South America. Oh yeah, look at this shot. It's some National Geographic for you. Look at the color. So that was I've got hundreds of shots. I've never seen anything quite like this. Who has? This is a completely protected area. Oh, look at this dude sleeping on a rock. Sea lion. Literally crashed out. And yeah. Okay. So that was Bella Vista Island, and again, this is like day 2. This was day 3. This is right after Nazca. Okay, and let me see what I've got coming up next. Oh. And then as we're cruising in the boat, I just grabbed this picture. Bunch of sea lions on a buoy. Okay. Now, the next trip that we went into, these are just friends, by the way. We had a really great time having dinner and hanging out. These two, by the way, I ran into these two flying back to the United States. They happened to be at the same airport. That's Dahlia. That's her husband, Martin. He's a surgeon, and she's in the medical industry. And this was in I think that's Lima. That's Joe. Joe's probably watching right now. Joe's a really cool dude. He's from Austin, Texas, traveling by himself. He likes to, it was his second trip to Peru. That's Gustavo. This is Louis. That's Joe. Louis is from New Jersey, fireman, retired. And just bounce through this. This is Alex. He's from Russia. I'm just going through. That's Alex's wife, Julia. And this is at the airport somewhere. There's Brien Foerster. This is on the road. This is at a truck stop or something. Okay, now this is Ollantaytambo. And before the food, did I mention the food? So what you see in Peru is a lot of this. Now this is very old structures, but here in the back on the sides of these mountains, which are everywhere, you see these structures. These structures, and most they're ancient, but that's where they stored food. So you can see the terracing system. That's a terrace where they grew food, and they grow whatever, corn, potatoes, and then these are the storage places. And again, all over Peru. Now this is Ollantaytambo. We pulled in where it never rains. That's Ollantaytambo behind me. And they said, it never rains. It never rains here ever. Well, it rained on this particular day. And what was great about this, that's Ollantaytambo right there. I'll show you some more pictures in a second. Everybody left and came down off of Ollantaytambo, which left it to us. So there we go, poncho in hand. Now, this is Ollantaytambo. And I've got lots of images here, and I've got some video too here that I will post in a second. So at the top of Ollantaytambo, that's the Sun Temple right here. That is old and megalithic with 100-ton perfectly carved stones. We will get to that in a second. Now, how do you get up there? Well, you climb these stairs. You come over here. There's some wooden stairs. You climb those. You climb up those, and you zigzag over to here, and you climb up here. You climb up here. You climb up here. You zigzag over. You climb up here. You zigzag over. Climb up here, and then you get to the top. Wasn't easy. All right. Now, but here's the interesting part. This megalithic wall at the base. Now, above it, that is new construction. Imitating what's on top, by the way. But look at these stones. And this is just a wall. This is at the base. Look how these are cut. Okay, that's just city. Look at that, and it's big. By the way, it's very large, and so this is at the bottom, and this is as I'm climbing up and turning around and looking backwards. Now, here's what's interesting about Ollantaytambo. That's the village, right? Okay, but look at this mountain on the other side. Zoom in here. That's your storage place for food, right? And this is the Army's base that was built. It's a fort to obviously protect the valley. That's where you come in. And then on the other side right here are more of these storage places. And then I'm looking and I said, wait a minute. That looks like a face. So I see this and I pointed out to Brian. Brian says that is not natural. That is actually carved. And you can clearly see it. You can see it. And from over here, it's a face. And it is carved. But like I said, one more time, I need to stress this. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go in Peru is something. It's constant. Okay. So let's get up here. This is, again, look at the carving. I was so interested in all of these megalithic structures, but just look at, and that's just one piece of one wall in Ollantaytambo. Now, my face says it all, but just look at this. And I took a lot of pictures. Now, I probably have 500 pictures of seams like this. Now, that's giant rocks. And then look at that's the seam. And the width of that, you can't even see it. It's touching. And to see this repeated like this over and over and over again, it's everywhere you look, everywhere in Peru. And so I took a shot of this. I thought that this stone was pretty interesting. And again, this is the wall going down into town. But look at this. Look at this. It just doesn't make any sense. And to think that, and that's a corner. It's a rounded corner here, right there. It's a rounded corner. And then you have something like this, just like the most incredible thing ever carved in the history of mankind. And it's one of thousands and thousands of blocks just in this one section. Look at that. Incredible. So yeah, obviously this guy right here, right? But look at this. Look at this. Incredible. And I couldn't stop taking pictures of these. I was most interested in these 3-way and 4-way joints and how they come together. And when you see this in person, it's just Brian. There's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-sided. 8-sided. 8. That's the entrance to the Sun Temple at the top. Forget about me. Look at this corner. Look at that. It just, and now underneath it, that's new. That's fill-in. Right, look how sloppy that is. The old stuff, this ancient stuff, is the crazy. Look at this corner. Look at that. Look at this joint. Just incredible. Okay, so this is at the top. Now, remember, I showed you the other side with the face on the hill. By the way, I'm not taking a commercial break tonight. We're just going to run straight through this. I got way too much stuff to show. But this is the entrance to the Sun Temple. On the other side was the mountain with the face on it. There's another set of terracing here coming up, and there's this, and then your little guard shack at the top. More amazing stonework, which again, this block that you're looking at here, from here, which goes to here, that's probably 10 feet. 10 feet. It's huge. Huge. And then you have this lentil stone, this top stone at the... So at the top is this. This is the Sun Temple. Now, behind Brien and I, these are 120-ton stones. 120 tons. And they're separated with these in the middle. It's 120 tons, 120 tons. And this is at the top of the mountain. How they get them up there? And when you round the corner, this is at the top of Ollantaytambo, and you look at something like this, and it just doesn't make any sense. There's just nothing that you can put into words. And again, this is the start of the tour. This was just a sign of things to come. So next up, let's see here. The next site that we went to. Oh, got to show you this. That's an example. Those are the stairs. Those are the stairs, just to show you what you have to climb up and down. I said to myself, I'll never climb another set of stairs again. And then I got home. I posted this picture online, but I'm going to share this with you. I think it's great. Llamas. But look at these guys are great. Right? They're beautiful too, by the way. But look at the wall in the background. People are looking at the llamas. I'm looking at the wall. Okay. I have it. Oh, where is it? That's the carver. His name is Bellator. That is a skull carved from meteorite. And I have it. Yeah. There it is. So he's very talented. He had a meteorite the size of okay, next up, meteorite this big, and he's cuttings, and so, but I got the skull. Okay, so here we go to Machu Picchu. And you take a train up. There is the train to Machu Picchu. And it's about 2 hours by train. And there's Joe and Brien Foerster, first class, by the way, first class all the way. The train is beautiful. It's just incredible. Here is our group. We had a train car to ourselves, And there you go. This guy's from Switzerland, Lithuania. They are from San Francisco. I got to know everybody. This is Paul Jensen. Love Paul. He lives here in California. That's Lily. She's Lewis's wife. There's Gustavo. There's our train car. Not that interesting of a picture for you, but for me, it was good times. Okay. So we get up to Machu Picchu, and we're getting ready to head up. And in the square where the restaurants are, at the bottom of Machu Picchu, incredible, there were 3 sleeping dogs. 1, 2, 3. How tired are you when you do this in the middle of the town square? You're just like, I gotta lay down now. And that's what these guys are doing. And so there you go. Pictures of sleeping dogs. Okay, so this is on our march up to Machu Picchu. And just incredible. Here it is. There's the entrance. So take a good look. There it is. There's Machu Picchu. And let me tighten this up. Okay. So let's go through this. This is the very, very beginning. You're at the top of the world, by the way. Very steep slopes. The construction, new and old and so forth, but the megalithic town square is absolutely incredible. So here we are. Same thing happened at Machu Picchu. It rained. And then it stopped raining. So people stopped going up to Machu Picchu, and we ended up, there was people there, but there are thousands. It's the #1 tourist destination in all of South America. So there are thousands and thousands of people that are going up into Machu Picchu every single day. And you can see that. We get there, drizzles up, people stopped going up the path, the hike to go up. We didn't have it completely by ourselves, but we had it by ourselves. So check these images out. This is on the way up. I'm just going to go through all of these one by one because it was pretty frigging insane. And again, as you can see, there's nobody here. There's nobody here. And look at the clouds. That's how high up we are. And again, you can see that's the cloud line. The clouds are below us. It's pretty wild to see. So just enjoy these. I'm just going to go through the camera roll here in order. Now, that's Machu Picchu here. This is when you, it's all Machu Picchu, but when you first enter and you come up off the side of the mountain and you round the corner, boom, this is what you see. And so let's zoom in. There it is. This peak here, people were climbing up there. You have to book that a year in advance. I really would have liked to have climbed up there. But so as you can see, it's empty. Look, there's nobody here. There's a few people, but there's nobody here. Okay, now what you first notice, and it's pretty dramatic. This is the megalithic town square. We will get to that in a second. Is how all of these roofs and the houses and the living quarters are identical. It's just incredible city planning on how this is done. You can see they're all perfect and they all line up. It's pretty wild to see. So there you go. That was my first shot. This is it. I rounded the corner. I went, oh my snap. Okay. There's lots of pictures here. Machu Picchu. There's another one. It's incredible. megalithic. I'll show you pictures of this in a second. That's one stone. You can see the person here. This I have no idea, 100 tons or something. It's huge. And there's one on this side, and there's one on this side. I've got some close-ups. There's some more here and here. We will swing back to that. But this is just incredible. Incredible to see from this view, the terracing. It's a pretty good picture of Machu Picchu. Yeah. It's incredible. It's one of those things. Look at the green and the color and everything. When I'm just here to say, you see this in person and everything, Machu Picchu. Then you see it and you're like, yeah, Machu Picchu. Yeah. Okay, let's go through this. Okay, here is where everybody was hiking up to the top here. I can only imagine what that hike was like, because they went up right up the side. I was watching them right here. I can only imagine. We couldn't do it. At the top of Machu Picchu, at the top, right? It's at the top. Huh. I don't remember this. Somebody took that picture. That's pretty good. Can't tell where I'm at. All right. So now we head down. Like I said, I'm just going through these. I'm not looking at them. There's our group. Look at Foerster. Everybody here was amazing. This is Claire. I think Claire was Claire. If I've got this wrong, he was in his late 70s. Hiked his butt all the way through. Then we had this guy, Bill. Where's Bill? Where's William? Let me find William. William had a broken leg, and I don't see. Is William not in this picture? Huh. He didn't make it. He didn't make it. I'll show you William later. Broken leg, in his 70s, hiked his butt all over Peru. Okay, I want to get to the megalithic square. Let me pull this down for a second. So as we head down into the town, this is what they call the guard shack. And this is at the highest point of Machu Picchu, and it looks down. And this is where nobody knows. All right, they call it the guard shack. It looks like it's a guard shack. It's at the top and it's looking down. Could be anything. I don't know. But it looked really cool, and it was at the top of the world. This is heading down now, going down the path and heading into town. And again, I tried to grab as many pictures of everything as I could. This is incredible. There was a couple of thatched roofs. Most of the roofs are open like this, but it's a completed one there. This is how long it takes, by the way, to walk down the path. Just walking. There's the entrance into Machu Picchu, more megalithic stuff. This is a door hinge. I found that very interesting. How that was carved, I don't know. It's in one piece of stone. There it is, right? That's one side. There's one on the other. And that's the entrance into Machu Picchu. Those hinges where that blue backpack is, that's a hinge there. And more llamas. And now, how good is that? I took that picture. That should be on Brien Foerster's brochure cover. Looking at the clock here. This is Randy. Looks like Billy Gibbons. Really cool guy too, by the way. Can I say this, Randy? You won't mind. Retired Air Force police. Yep. Okay. So at the top, this is the courtyard of Machu Picchu. New construction, old construction. Look at that. Now, this is what they call the, man. I mean, now, why did I take this picture? I took it for a couple of reasons. One, you can see that these stones here have moved, earthquakes, whatever, over time. I found that very interesting. But these haven't. And why? Okay, look at this. That just stands out to me. Just incredible. Look at this. And it's one of those things where you say to yourself, okay, you can look at it, you can see it, but how? And then you see something like this. Are you ready? I don't know. I don't know how this is done. This is the oldest part of Machu Picchu. You can see here on this side. I'm just going to show you this really quick. Old, original, and then the new stuff, the fill-in at the top. Okay, now take a really close look. Look at this. This is a square. That's not what's most interesting. I'll show you the picture in just a second. But look how the stones fit, right, all the way around. But there's 3 windows here. This one's blocked. 1, 2, 3. And that's the view that you've got coming out of these windows. And look at this. Right in the middle. Look at the lentils as they fit across. It's 1 stone. Right? Okay. You got it? Watch this. Bam. And you're just, that's why this window was here. For that view. And I was watching people walk by and not stop and not noticing that. Oh, but man, I took so many pictures of stuff like this. I just the megalithic rocks. Okay, so this is from earlier. Okay, now this is interesting. Let me tell you why. Obviously, you can see the earth had shifted and this part has moved away. That's not what's interesting about this shot. And this is all over Peru are these notches. Okay. See that one? Right. And you see them here and you see them here. Sound chambers. So you would have people stand here. This is a big, stand, and then ohm and tones into these chambers and have it echo in this room. You see it all over Peru. It's all over. I've got so many pictures of these in different areas. But just imagine people standing with their faces in these chamber holes and ohming like a chorus in tune, chords, maybe even singing songs. But that's what that's for. And you see it all over Peru. You see it all over. Look at this. Look at that. It's just crazy. Crazy construction. What was the purpose of this? I think it's for the acoustics. It's my opinion. I could be wrong. Again, this is at the top of Machu Picchu. And one of the things, and I took a lot of pictures like this of Brien. Everybody had Brien had everybody's attention constantly. If you've got to go on the next tour with us next year. Okay, you ready? Grandfather, grandson. So cool. So cool. Randy and his wife. There's Lily. I like these kind of shots. Just taking pictures of our group. That's Carson. Dude was out of his mind. One of the coolest people there. Sang every song from the 60s the entire week. Okay. So now this is us exiting Machu Picchu, heading back down the hill. And so I'll pull this out and let's go to the next site, which, looking at the clock here, will be, okay. So next we went to a cave and called Napo and Iglesia. It's man, I should almost go back to videos. But this is inside the cave. Now this is about 13,000 feet. And this is inside of the cave. But what was crazy about this is somebody got married. And I was the ring bearer. And that's Paul and Julia. And I will show you their wedding ceremony. Okay, this right here, that's Wilco. This is a megalithic notch. This is original. It looks brand new. It is not. When the cave was first discovered, it was already there. And we did a whole ceremony. This is Wilco bringing in his herbs and things. But this is original. This is not. This is. It's original. But 3 portals. And there they are. There's the portals. So 3 people sit. This, you put a hand here and a hand here, and you face out. I was in this one. We have somebody here, facing out over this valley. And look at, we're at 13,000 feet. Incredible. Now, here's your sound holes again. Here, that's what I think they are. But this is this one piece of rock, and just ancient. And they call these portals. I believe that they are. There's Ron. And there's the wedding. That's me holding the rings. I cried. But we had a minister with us right there. And his name is Rich. There she is, placing the ring on the finger. Very cool. And they got married. Okay, next. And they live in Southern California. I'm going to be hanging out with them. I don't know what these pictures. Okay, all right. Now, highlight of the tour. Moray. Moray. I didn't know about this site. Take a really good look. This is an amphitheater. It is so big and breathtaking. Okay, now I'm going to show you now what's special about this. This is incredible. All right, you ready? Now, I'm looking down. It's in a crater, probably from a meteor. Okay, and this would be the center of it here. This is a giant bowl. You have to see it to understand what I'm trying to. But okay, so just imagine a giant bowl. Like it's not a volcano. This is a bowl, a meteor crater. Okay, you ready? If I was going to guess, it's probably a half mile, quarter mile, half mile across. How big is this? Those are people. Those are people. Okay? Now look. Just look at the size of this. So imagine this full. It gets better. So that's the garden terrace. That's the cheap seats. That's the cheap seats. Okay, are you ready? Check this out. I'm going to show you the stairs. See these white lines? Those white lines? See these white lines? White lines, white lines? Check this out. Those are the stairs to enter. That's right. And they go all the way up. Up, 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 up to the tippity top. Come over here. See the stairs, the stairs, the stairs, the stairs. And once I noticed what was going on, there's something ceremonial here. Might be the sound system, the mixing console, the lighting rig. But anyway, so that's here. And then you can see the stairs. They come down. The stairs are here and here and here. And they all lead to the center. Right here. It is the most majestic, beautiful. There you can see the bowl. See the bowl? See the shape? Some say, and this is according to Wilco, that this is all the way up to here. These are man-made. These are two mounds representing the breastises, and comes down, and it's the navel, and then this is the, what's between, where babies are born here. Now, I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it, but this amphitheater and the size of it, and this is okay. So we drove about 2 hours up the mountain. This is on the top of the mountain. This is 13,000 feet above everything. Switchbacks. You ever seen the show World's Most Dangerous Roads? Yeah, that's what we did. in a bus. Our bus driver was gnarly. Incredible that he did this. Anyway, all the way up, pull up, boom. This on the top of a mountain. Look at those stairs, man. It's just incredible. That was certainly a highlight for me and totally unexpected. Huge. Right next to it. Oh, by the way, some of the best food I ever had. Look at this corn. Look at that corn. Yeah, it's as big as you think, man. Those kernels were this big. Cooked for me on the top of a mountain. What I wanted to show you, let me back up. That's a road. That's a road, a path to walk down. Let's see if you can see people on it. You can't. And it's really steep. No. Okay. So it's right here. I didn't even know. I was just taking pictures of everybody, and then I walked up on this. So again, I was guesstimating with the size of the people. That guy right there, if he's 6 foot tall, how far is it from here to the edge of, I don't know. And you can see people way back here. So I don't know, just huge. So then at the top of the mountain, I got a piece of corn, and that was pork, deep fried. It was incredible, by the way, cooked for me by some woman. Okay, this was this particular site, Pacu Paracas, I think that's it. Pacu Paracas. Another incredible site full of megalithic stones. And as we got back here, I have it on. Look at this. Just look at that. We got hit by a hailstorm. So we're going back, and I have a video of the hailstorm and of us getting out of there, and it hit us so quick. This is downtown Cusco. Okay, let me back out of this. This is just me running around Cusco. Let me see. I'm gonna go back to video. In Cusco, it is very famous for this, are the megalithic pieces of Cusco. And so when you go, highlight of the trip, and Brien says Cusco's the most magnificent city in the world. And after seeing it, I would agree with him. So when you're walking around downtown Cusco, you just see stuff like this. Megalithic. Brian's showing us but look at these corners. And this is just like one shot of Cusco. So I did this constantly. I took hundreds of pictures of this because I need to do this for the documentary I want to put together. But this stonework is insane. So what's important about this? Let me show you. Yeah, it looks straight. It looks perfect. Just grab a corner and take a look. You ready? This is random. Look at that notch. Take a close look. And that is every corner here is notched like that. Just pick one. I took dozens and dozens. Look at that. How? And it's every corner. Look at that. Every corner. Just pick a corner and look really close. There's a notch. I don't want to bore you with this, but I took so many pictures of that. It's mind-blowing to see this in person. It's everywhere. That's my hand. Look at this. How? How is that done? I couldn't take enough pictures of these. And you're just walking down an alley and you see this. Like, what? Huh? And it's every single block. There's another one. I took hundreds of pictures of these notches. These are all different. Look, dude. It's just one step. And another one, and another one. And you see stuff like this. It's incredible. So here's Brien. This is another avenue there. These are diorite. When you see green, that's diorite, a very hard stone. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Just doesn't make any sense. What? Are you looking? There's Teo. He's an archaeologist, PhD. There's Brien and I in with the famous, very famous 12-sided stone. Right there. There it is. Crazy. And that's in Paracas. This is just a corner. I had to take a picture of it. That's a corner of a street in Cusco. I can't express how big these stones are. It's another corner. Now here, old, new. Me with the local police. I got lots of pictures of me and the police, by the way. Okay. Let's pull this out. Let me, I'm going to jump ahead and get to Pumapunku. And let me pull this down. Pumapunku is... And Tiwanaku. Tiwanaku, again, mind-blowing. So... I didn't get to the floating islands. I'll do that at another point. And I didn't get to the towers and Sacsayhuaman. I didn't get to that either. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me back up. Sacsayhuaman is... Oh, man. Can we go late tonight? Can I go overtime? Is that okay? Can I do overtime with you guys? Let me get to Sacsayhuaman, and there's a cave too as well. The pictures are loading right now on my screen. If I could show you. Okay, look. That's so many images. They're just loading. I've got literally thousands and thousands and thousands of images here. So just be patient. They're loading. And I just screwed up my camera. Sorry about that. Okay. Is that good? Is that good? Okay. I'm back. Okay. Let me get to Sacsayhuaman. Which is here. Hear that? That's images loading. Okay. Let's just start here. I think this should be the start. Okay, this is outside of Sacsayhuaman. This is the entrance. Let's pull this up. Okay, so here we go. So this is overlooking Cusco. This is from Cusco. You can look and see this right here. That's right there. Sacsayhuaman is 1,900 acres. I was not prepared for this. We've all seen it in images, but here we go. There it is. So you come up over the ridge and you see this. Now that's the plaza. I need you to absorb. You've seen pictures of these rocks, these megalithic walls, but you only see one. You don't see the whole thing. I'm going to show that to you now. All right. This is a panoramic shot. I'm going to zoom in. Those are people. And if you look here, that's 30 foot. It's a 30-foot tall block. There's a 30, 40-foot tall block. There's a 20-foot one. And there's another one, and 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 endless. So the shape of this, let me go back to this shot. This is a snake. And these are notches. Okay? And yes, those are people. So to even come close to describing the size and the scope, there's 3 walls. Look at that. And there's just one after another, all the way down. And so you come up and you look and you're just like, this is impossible. This is just, it's all over Peru. I've shown you one example after another. Let's go back and where we started with Nazca and the ginormity of that, and Ollantaytambo. It's just one site after another, and then you see this. It's now I don't know. I cannot tell you. Look at this line. It comes down. And when you see something like, something this big, Okay, yeah. It's the notches, but this is fitting into this, but it's got to fit into this, and it's got to fit into what's above it and what's around it, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. That's a corner. Look what's above it. Just look. It's incredible. And so there it is. That's one of many. I couldn't believe it. There's Teo. And so I ended up taking pictures with everybody. And so these are just selfies with the entire crew. I'm just going to go through all of these. All right. Just incredible. And here's another example. That's a corner of what there's. The snake continues. It's I don't know. It's half a mile wide, and every single one of those corners was cut like this. That's why you need to go to Peru. Okay, now I'm going to back out. Let's back out of this because there was another special moment here, and I posted pictures of it. Let's get to Pumapunku. And then I'm going to go back to the portal at Amaru Muru. But Pumapunku starts here. All right. So let's just do this. You ready? There it is. Tiwanaku and Pumapunku touch. You can walk from one side to the other. So there you go. Here's the famous sign, Tiwanaku, elevation 3,870 meters, whatever that is. It's 4,000 times 3, 12,000 feet, 12,000, 13,000 feet. So let's just go through this. So there it is. Pumapunku. And here's the crazy thing. It's in the middle of nowhere, but it's right on the side of, you just drive and you look, and there's the H blocks right on the road. And there's the sign to the most important place probably on planet Earth. There it is. And that's it. That's the entrance to Pumapunku. There it is. And my heart was pounding. So these are, I shot video, but these are pictures just taken in order. This is when I first stepped up. This is a gate. You can see it. It's lying on its side. It's one piece of stone. It's been broken. But that is right in front of those H blocks right there. And to see it, I can't put it into words. Now, the H blocks in photographs look small. They are not. I am going to guess and say 4 feet tall, over 3 feet. So I've got a yardstick right there. Yeah, 4 feet. 4 feet tall. Now, very old, it's 10,000 years old, the site. So the tops of these H blocks are weathered, but look at the bottom where the weathering hasn't affected it yet, and they're perfect. And each one of them has a portal. That's a portal. It's a portal. It's a represent to me. You see it all over Peru. That's a doorway. And there's another one there, and you see them. There's one on the top, and there's one right here too as well. But to see it in person, I'm still processing it. So let's roll through this. This is my Pumapunku camera roll. Just enjoy all of this. Holes, notches. Its purpose, I don't know. And it's the ages of these things. I'm going to show you now. Remember, metallurgy comes into play here. Again, in situ, right? But look, 2 blocks, the notch in the middle, notch here, notch there. Probably to pour metal into to lock them into place. Okay, of note, Pumapunku, what we have seen on Ancient Aliens and other videos, we see the H blocks and we say, okay, that's all the focus is. What they don't tell you is that Pumapunku is a ginormous site. It's 4 sides. One side had some kind of cataclysmic explosion. I'll get to that. They don't point any of that out, and they don't show you the perimeter. And it's exquisite carving and the wall that is around Pumapunku. Okay, so I'll get to that in just a second. But anyway, let's just go through this camera roll, and you can look at some of this later. This is notched, and this is huge, by the way, and I will show you in a second. Look how these match. This is the back of the H blocks. They're all the same. Purpose, I don't know. These slabs are huge. They're lying on their side right now. And there's this section here too as well. I've got some more pictures of it, and I'll explain it to you in just a second. These slabs are probably 30 to 40 foot square. Another close-up of another H block. There's your little portal thing. You see it? See it? I think that's a representation of a portal. That's another H block. There's 4 H blocks in a row. These are different. It's a different set, but as you can see, they've all got that little portal dude. And smooth, by the way. Smooth as glass when you run your hands over it. Another group of H blocks. There's another one here. See? Another doorway. You can tell this. Look at the holes on the bottom. But that looks like, to me, that stood upright because there's these designs on the top, and that's what that looks like to me. That's a doorway, but it's lying on its side now. This caught my eye. I've never seen anybody talk about this before. This is probably 30 feet long, one piece of stone with these notches on the bottom. Again, I don't know. And there's another one next to it here. It's of the same size. But you're talking about hundreds of tons. It's huge. It's ginormous. Okay, So this is part of the foundation of Pumapunku. So now this is away from the H blocks. The H blocks are on top, but this is the corner. This goes from this corner. It's like, I don't know, a quarter of a mile. And I've got a video of me walking this entire section, and they don't talk about that. I've never heard. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. Oh, my bad. So I got to go back through all of that. Share screen, Jimmy. Share. James, go to bed. You're tired. This is the perimeter wall. Okay, so let's go back to the H blocks. Oh, you missed all of this? Did you miss all of this? I didn't show you any of this? Are you bummed? I must not have. So let's go through it now. That's the back of the H blocks. So what you just remember everything that I just said. Remember, I haven't slept in 3 months. Here's that. It's, I don't know, 30 feet wide, couple 100 tons. Huge. Yep. We missed all of it. Sorry. But you're getting it now. I'll run into overtime. Okay, this is the corner. So the H blocks are on top of this. And this wall, perimeter wall, goes about a quarter of a mile on each side. And I've got a complete video of this. But so this is the backside where everything has been blasted apart and broken. These are broken stones. I don't know what cracked these in half, but that was just a huge explosion. And I don't know, tsunami. But these are blocks that are snapped in half. The H blocks are on top of this hill. And this is the perimeter. This is a megalithic staircase. And this is not part of this. You can see it here, how it was carved out. So this is old. This is really friggin' old and worn out and filled in. I mean, that's old. That's old. I'm 15,000 years old. And again, the H blocks are on top of this hill. This is a stairway that was going up to it. This stone here is still buried. But look how it's carved underneath. So again, there was some catastrophic situation that came in and toppled all of this. These are all original. And this is, look over here. Look at the wall right here. What caused that? This is an interesting shot. So, and you can see how these were at one time pieced together. Was this a wall? Were these upright? I don't know, but it's a pretty interesting grouping. And then if you look here, that's the back of an H block there. And it was a beautiful day too. This I took, very hard to explain what this is, but I took this, my held the camera up above my head so I can get the whole thing, and just snapped a picture hoping that I got it. This is probably 10 feet across, but it's a perfect arch. And I took a few pictures of it because I just thought it was beautiful. I just don't know what it is, but you can see the arch here and how it's carved underneath, and then these notches on the back half. Don't know what it is, but it was beautiful. Another H block. Again, this one, I was able to put my hands, well, I touched all of them, but this is just butt-ass, smooth, flat, polished. You can feel it. You run your hands over it. It's thousands of years old, and it's just like a billiard table smooth. Those right angles. Top worn out from the weather over thousands of years. Bottom perfect. And you see it over and over again. There's another good example. Okay, you ready? This was assembled. How do we know? You ready? It's a keystone. Right there. It's a keystone to lock it together. Before you go, well, Jimmy, well, maybe. Well, there's another one. There's another one. Another one. Now, what was it? Look. There's two more right here. So there's another. Look, perfect keystone. Now, in of itself, it's dramatic, but you have to understand that this is 30, 40, 50 feet of stone. This angle, very odd. And then you have on top of it, why is it being locked together with this? It's 50, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200 tons of stone with this fitting into it. With this fitting into it. These stones are here. Yeah, look at, just for dimensions. See everybody standing here? Why would you lock this together with, and if this is thousands of years old, it's before metallurgy, it's before the Bronze Age? How is that possible? I don't know. I don't want to get into crazy town here, but you can look at it and see it for yourself. There it is. That's a keystone. That's to lock these ginormous blocks together. I couldn't get enough of this doorway. I think it's just mind-blowing. All right. So this is when we exited Pumapunku and we went to Tiwanaku. Don't worry, I won't forget. We had lunch next door, and then here is the entrance to Tiwanaku. And while we were there, this is the entrance. I forgot about the Temple of the Sun. Oh, man, Amaru Muru. Okay, I'm going to stay. So they were doing an archaeological dig while we were there. These are guys with wheelbarrows. I've got all this on videotape. I don't know what they were digging up on top. Now, okay, this is a very interesting shot. This is Tiwanaku. In the background right here is Pumapunku. Okay? It's Pumapunku right there. This is Tiwanaku. Look at the construction. Remember those portals? This is, now they say that they're not the same sites. Well, that's bullshit. It's the same site. So you can walk from Tiwanaku to Pumapunku, which is right here. And the design and everything with Tiwanaku, it matches Pumapunku. This is a very interesting stone on the side of this hill that's there. This is facing it. I'm gonna bang through these really fast because we got to get to. Look at that. Tiwanaku's mind blowing. Look at this. This is 30 feet at least. You'll see me standing next to it. But there it is. The sunken temple. Couldn't believe I saw this with my own eyes. Went right down in there. This is the temple that's got all of the races of people from around the world. And some of them with turbans, different. We'll get to it in a second. I think that's your alien right there. I've got some close-ups of him too as well. But this right here, does that remind you of something called Göbekli Tepe? More on that in just a bit. But there's that. I couldn't wait to get down there. These are different houses or structures of walls. Let's just, the Tiwanaku, unbelievable. The megalithic construction. It's the same thing that you see everywhere. Again, Pumapunku, but this is Tiwanaku. And they will tell you that they're different sites, and they're quite simply, they are not. It's the same thing. Look, right? Remember the H blocks? And I'm just walking through. There's Joe, and this is on the back of one of these blocks. And it's the same thing that's on the H blocks. Okay, so here's the sunken temple again. There's William with his broken leg. Check my man out. That dude hiked all over Peru with a broken. But now look at this pillar. Look at the arms. He's got a belt. There's more on this. But doesn't that remind you of Göbekli Tepe? And these faces, man, they are just incredible. Just incredible. Okay, there's like 4 of these there with the arms in the same position. Look at that. Göbekli Tepe, man. Tiwanaku is older than Willie the Trooper, man. Bill needed some kind of an award. Okay, there's your alien, dude. And what's crazy is when you look at the other faces, there's 2 that are here, completely different than everything else. It's crazy to me. This is the Sun Gate, the very famous Sun Gate. I've got a bunch of pictures of this with the sun coming through it. We'll get to that in just a second. But the same megalithic stairs, and but they wouldn't let us walk through it. You can see it right there, no pass, and there are guards everywhere, so we couldn't go through. But just dramatic. one piece of stone. Brien was so good at, and what he's demonstrating here is the water level. This is water damage here, and then no water damage above. So Lake Titicaca came up to here. This is on the shore of, not, it's a few miles away, but these are drains. Incredible megalithic wall. And so you can see the line, and the line goes all the way across. Now, this is what you can see, the gray clouds. You see how everything is warped down here from the water? It's really weird. Everything's straight above that. It's a really good point that Brien brought out. Here's another pillar. Look at the hands and look at the belt. I mean, if that doesn't remind you of Göbekli Tepe, there's the famous Sun Gate. This is another one. This is the second Sun Gate. And nobody really knows. Now, there's a language here. There's things that repeat, but nobody really knows. Now, the alignment of this lines up with the constellation 15,000 years ago. Now, check it out. Look at the sun coming through and the rays going through the Sun Gate. It's pretty cool. To see it in person, I was like, oh, dang. And this is, everybody's standing because now it's raining. And yeah, see the rain? Look at Joe. And we had to get out of there. This is in the museum next door to Tiwanaku. And this was, what's interesting here is the excavation of Tiwanaku back in the 1930s. Before that, it was buried in mud and dirt. This was lying on its side. It's in one piece, by the way. I found it in one piece. I don't know what this is. It's huge, but I thought he was pretty interesting. He reminded me of one of those cartoon characters. Okay, this is some lady. Okay, now that's my last shot. I was flying home. I think this was in Mexico City, and I run into Dolly and Martin. Okay. By chance in the airport walking through. Okay, so I want to go back and show you Amaru Muru. Where is it? Amaru Muru is right here. Okay. So I had heard and researched about this many times over the years. And so here it is. And it's a portal. And the stories behind it. Okay, so this is, I'm going to show you a few different pictures of it. But so this is carved into the side of a mountain. And it's a doorway that goes to nowhere. There's a notch here in the middle. Right here. That's where you put your forehead. You put a hand here, you put a hand here, you put your knees here, and you face the doorway. And there is a saying, a phrase Now, so if you go Amaru Muru, you can look it up and look at the stories about it over the years. And one of the original stories that goes back hundreds of years is that a shaman went up, witnessed by the village, goes up, does the thing, and he says something and disappeared. Okay? Never came back. The actual phrase, open sesame, whatever, has been lost in time. There are, you know what, it's kind of like, right, Aladdin. You know, you go up and you say it over and over again until you say the right thing that, right, the door doesn't open. Well, that's the story behind this. Now, there is a guy, his name's Jerry Wills, and he says he traveled through the portal. You can go and read about Jerry Wills on your own and check that out, whether it really happened or whatever. I don't know. It wasn't there. But I have seen the pictures of this, of Amaru Muru, and I've read the stories, I've read all the research, but to walk up and see it change your life. Now, I'll tell you what happened to me. Okay, so now this is one notch. This is a pillar. Somebody stands here. This is part of the ceremony. Then you have this, and on the other side, let me get a full shot, is this here. Somebody stands in here, somebody stands in here, somebody's in the middle, and it faces the valley. It's beautiful. It's crazy. One piece of rock like this, to have this, it's just, obviously it doesn't make any sense. What does it look like? It looks like a doorway going to nowhere, right? It is a portal. It is. Out of, when you think of everything that I've shown you, and I've skipped over a bunch of different sites, and I'm trying to get a bunch in. I'll do more, and I'll put a video together, and we'll do all of this. I've got a lot of images to go through. I'm still unpacking everything, but this is worth your time. This is worth the price of admission. If you go and with Brien Foerster, hiddenincatours.com, and you come down there with us next November, I assure you, when you walk up and see this, now Sacsayhuaman, right? Ollantaytambo, Machu Picchu, these are incredible places. Oh, I didn't even get to the mummy. Okay. This site right here will change everything. So this is me getting into position. I don't know if I posted this. Put my hands on the wall, do the chant, do the thing. Now, check this lady. Is that cool or what? Man, fell in love with her. She was just too cool. She was amazing. Just amazing. Wise. I have this, by the way. It's on display here at the house, but there it is. Okay, so after I was done, and I sat, and I'm with everybody, standing in front of that, and all of a sudden, this. Do you feel that? I do. What's from my toes to my forehead, like tingling. And I'm going, I'm just, yeah. I don't know. Now, I didn't transport anywhere. I didn't go anywhere. But I definitely felt electricity from my head to my toe. Okay, so now let me show you the mummy. You want to see the mummy? Let me back up here and get to the mummy. Where is this? Okay, the mummy is right. Where is the mummy? So this this was about I'm going to say it. This is like the craziest thing I've ever seen. And everybody talks about, the mummies, and we're talking about them today and so forth. This is a real mummy. There's no question about it. And I'm just going to show it to you now. This is of a 2-year-old infant. 2 years old. Now, before I show you the picture, I want you to understand that boarding of a head of a skull, you can't do that in 2 years. Right? You're not going to do that. That's not going to happen. But the next thing about this mummy that I'm about to show you is it's 2 years old. It's the whole, whatever you call it, that is still there from birth. It takes, a few years to grow together. But it's got molars, a full set of teeth. Are you ready? Check this out. It's got 10 ribs, not 12. We have 12. It's got 10. And what you're looking at here in this picture is this big. The top of the skull to the bottom of the spine. Its legs are not there. Okay. The ribs are pointing in the wrong direction. Now, let's look at the skull. You can see its teeth. Look, full set of molars. Look. It's 1.5 to 2 years old. Now, the skull itself that you're looking at, those eye sockets are huge. The skull is this big. It's tiny. It's tiny with these giant eyeballs and these full set of teeth. But the whole, okay, let's continue. That's a natural skull, natural sutures. See his ribs? It's the bottom of his spinal cord. It's the other side. Look at the ribs. Look at the teeth. 1.5 years old. Now, that looks like a giant skull. That skull is, when you're looking at this, it's a tiny little skeleton. The whole thing is this big. It's like this. The skull is dominant, right? Look at the size of the eye sockets. It's the bottom of the spinal cord. Look at the ribs. 10 ribs. Now, so this is dead straight on. Look at the size of those eye sockets. No brows, by the way. Those aren't there. Not there. This is strange too. Look at the mouth. 1.5 years old. Tiny. It's a baby. It's a baby. Full set of choppers. Eyes. The eyes. And, you know, so you look at this right here. I mean, that does not. Look at the size of that eye socket. Look at those teeth. All right. And then you go, bam. It's like 3 times. I don't know. Another close up I took. This just it's beyond. Look at those aren't gums. I mean, there was teeth there. Look. It just doesn't make any sense. And you know, again, the skull, when you're seeing it in it's so the whole thing from top to bottom is probably a foot and a half. But half of that is the skull. Half of that is its forehead. And the other interesting part is where I think I tried to get a shot. I'll keep going. The way the spinal cord goes up into the head, the balance point is different than ours. You know, because ours is on the back of the skull right here. This is in the middle, like in the where the jaw is. It's like right here. It's weird. Oh, okay. So there you go. I have so much more. I've got so much more. We'll do another show. I've got stuff booked, you know, for the rest of the month, but I'll try to squeeze it in. I am going to do an AMA next week. I think it's on Wednesday or Thursday. That's on the schedule. I'll tell you right now. Hold on. Let me go to here. And AMA is, on the 21st. Okay. No, next week is booked up. Okay. So an AMA on the 21st. And then I've got a super duper surprise guest on the 19th. And you guys aren't going to believe it's going to be an amazing month. But I've got so much more to do, and I am going to put a documentary together, and I've with video and everything else, and I'm going to do that over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to do 2 documentaries. I'm going to do one that's going to be a rough one, just going to bang everything together. And then we're going to do, I'm going to hand off all the footage to a real editor and director and let them assemble something else. But for you and all of the Fadernauts, I'm going to put together 2 or 3 documentaries where I'm just going to piece everything together and maybe do a little narration over the top, just a quick and dirty to get something in and out so all of you can see this stuff. because I have got hundreds of hours of footage that shot. So with that, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me. I did 30 minutes overtime tonight, and with no commercials, and a big chunk of it tonight. I want you guys to think now. Last month, I was in Egypt, and I got back. I took a day off or two. I did Stairway to the Stars, and then I took 6 or 8 hours off, and then flew to Peru. And I just got back. I have barely got my thoughts together. Okay, but we're gonna have fun for the rest of the month. So everybody, just enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow here for the breaking news and everything else. With that, I forgot how to run the show and everything else with what I am doing. But I'll see everybody tomorrow for the breaking news. And who's my guest tomorrow night? My guest tomorrow is, tomorrow I got Dr. Dan Hooper tomorrow. We're going to talk about the science behind our expanding universe. He's a very important guy. This is a heavy show. I'll see everybody tomorrow night right here on Fade to Black. Fade to Black, of course, is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Very special thanks. I got to thank Bill. Got to thank Jonaside. Got to thank Dennis and Kevin. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2023 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, copied, or downloaded, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Until tomorrow night, I want you to be safe. Go Beckley Tappy.